Hey guys, it's BTide. If you're enjoying the content here on the channel, consider supporting on Patreon for as little as $1 each month. Links and credits can be found in the description. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV and a brand new Call of Duty Viper Warfare Infinite Warfare video. I apologize, but seriously, something needs to be done about this Viper, VPR, Viper, whatever you want to call the damn thing. It is incredibly overpowered and overused as all hail. Like, ridiculously overused, and it doesn't help that when you play on the Continuum mosh pit or the Continuum playlists, that every single player is using this damn gun. It's disgusting. Everyone has the season pass in these DLC playlists, so they just get the weapon for free. They didn't have to do the challenge to unlock it or anything like that, and they are just all over this gun right now. There's no other weapon that can compete with it, and that's why you're seeing it in today's gameplay. Because if I wasn't using the VPR on this playlist, I don't know what I would use, because I would just be getting stomped around every single corner by the VPR, as it is incredibly overpowered. So in today's video, I'll be discussing the DLC 2 Continuum for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, the 4 new maps, Scrap, Archive, Excess, and Turista, and then we're also going to touch on the Zombies experience as well. For the gameplay that you're seeing, I've done something a little bit different than I've usually done for DLC reviews and stuff like that. I usually keep it simple with one basic gameplay clip, and that is post pictures and discuss whatever about each of the maps after you see the pictures of the maps. But I thought that I was doing pretty damn good the other night, and I was grabbing a bunch of clips, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to mash these all together, and I'm going to include them all in the DLC review. So in each of the maps, you're going to see a very high streak. I basically used the advanced UAV for a placeholder kind of, so I went until I got an advanced UAV on each of the maps, and then I just took that clip because that's like a merciless clip or whatever, which would be pretty long for each of the maps, and I've included that in today's review. So you're going to see an advanced UAV earned on each of the 4 maps. There is no Zombies gameplay, unfortunately. If you want to see some Zombies play, what? Zombies gameplay, I will link that in the description down below. There's a link to the live stream where I actually tried out Shaolin Shuffle for the first time. We'll discuss Shaolin Shuffle towards the end of the video. But I'm running out of time on the Scrap clip, so let's get into the Scrap stuff. Scrap is a brand new map on the moon. It's very similar to the Terminal map. If you have played Terminal, I think it's free to play now. At the beginning, Terminal was a pre-order bonus, but it was given to everyone after some amount of time, if I'm not mistaken. But this is very similar to Terminal in that Terminal was also on the moon, and you're going to see a lot of the same type of buildings, the same type of obstacles on this map, as this map is also set on the moon. This map really reminds me of like Scrapyard or something like that, where there's a lot of, like from Modern Warfare 2, where there's a lot of, well, scrap on the map. It's basically intergalactic dumpster. I'll read the actual description of the map from the in-game description just so you guys can get a real feel for it, because I don't know if my description of the map itself will do any justice. I'll just tell you guys a little bit about the map after I read the in-game description. So the in-game description for Scrap reads as long sightlines and tactical pathways intersect in Scrap, taking place on mankind's final dumping ground on the moon. Players will need to keep moving at all times. Flip your perspective on the gravity-defying sniper perches and get the drop on enemies. So Scrap is a pretty cool map. It's what I like to call a circular map, where there's no real middle lane. Basically, there's a couple different kinds of maps in Call of Duty. There's like a 3-lane map. There's like a wide variety map where it's just like all over the place. A lot of ghost maps were like that. Those are my favorite type of maps. And then there's like these circular maps, which you're going to see with Scrap and Excess in this map pack, where there's no real center point, and it's more or less you have to pick a direction to go. Do you go left or do you go right? And there are a few little intersecting lanes in the middle, which are pretty neat, and you can use those to get the drop on your enemies. I like Scrap. I think it's one of the better of the new maps. I think all of the new maps are actually pretty good, except for maybe Archive, just because it plays really strange right now. I hope it gets better as people get used to the map, but Scrap is a really fun map. I like the little magnets. Not too many people go on them. Basically, there's these magnets that hover over pretty close to A, C, and B for domination, and if you jump up high enough, it'll turn you around, it'll invert you, and you can stick to them upside down and like shoot around. Not the greatest, most tactical thing to do, jumping up on those magnets, but it is a pretty cool map all the same. Next up, we're on to Turista. Turista is a pretty cool map. It's really colorful, really bright, and spectacly. It's really nice to look at. That's the number one thing that I love about Turista. It's just so much to see. A lot of the maps in Infinite Warfare, they kind of got that grayscale going on again. It's not like Black Ops 3, where Black Ops 3 had a lot of really flashy maps. In Infinite Warfare, I found a lot of the maps in the base, like standard maps, to be very dark and gritty. Even though they're like futuristic, like a futuristic dark and gritty kind of style, this Turista map is very bright, very shiny. It's basically, okay, I'll read the in-game description once again. Turista is a plush spa and resort for affluent galactic travelers. Nestled in the middle of a giant skeleton of a long-dead creature. It's a long, linear 3-lane map that allows a variety of playstyles. So all like the rock formations that you're seeing on this map are actually like fossils. It's made out of an old dead creature. And if you actually look out on the horizon of the map, you can see like a dead skeleton. It's a really, really cool looking map. I love the way the map plays. I think the map is easily my favorite of the 4 new maps in this map pack in the Continuum DLC. It's just really wide. It's a 3-lane map. It's a really large 3-lane map where like the 3 lanes are pretty significantly, like they're pretty significant. They're really large and wide, and there's a lot of room for movement throughout those 3 lanes. There's a great spawn trap on both ends of the map if you can control a certain area. It's really nice. There are a few pinch points where some of the newbie players will get in there and they'll sit there for a little while and they'll kind of screw with you for a bit. But once you get them out of there, you can really control the flow of this map, and it feels really great. It looks really cool, and it's just it's a great map. Of the 3-lane maps, I've never been a big fan, but Turista does it right somehow. XS is up next, and this one is probably the one that you've been waiting for. This is the remake of Rust from Modern Warfare 2. So perched atop a gilded penthouse in a sprawling metropolis, XS is an intense reimagining of the classic Modern Warfare 2 map, Rust. Fast-paced action on a small map. So this is, again, what I call a circular map. You can get on the tower like you could back in Modern Warfare 2 Rust, but for the most part, you are running around. You're either choosing to go left or right. You can go through the tower in the middle. You can go on top of the tower. This is a really like available kind of map where you can go anywhere, you can do anything. There's a lot of different little flanking routes and stuff, but it is a very small map, and I'm so glad that they finally added in a small enough map for like 1v1s and stuff, because if you have been doing 1v1s, like if you're a big 1v1 player, like in private matches and stuff, Infinite Warfare has been kind of rough to us. There hasn't been a really great small map. Like you could say that Frontier is a good small map, I guess, for sniping if you're going to do like a 1v1. And maybe, what's the one called? Genesis, which is from Call of Duty Ghosts, the remake from Call of Duty Ghosts. But really, there hasn't been a really small map in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare since launch. And this one is the first smaller map. It is not the same as Rust. Let me get that across to you right away. Rust was a lot smaller. It was boots on the ground, obviously, so it had to be smaller. There were like ladders to get up onto the tower. This one, there is no ladder. You have to jump up to the tower. You can really control the entire side of the map from the tower. Something else that's worth mentioning is there may be a reason why this map is called XS. They've added an extra area to the map. So right in front of me in the gameplay right now, you're seeing this big tower. There is an entire kind of back corner to this map, and this is an entire spawn. This is one of the flags in Domination. They've made this a lot larger because they need all that space for the advanced movement. So I understand why they made it larger, but if you're expecting an exact replay of Rust from Modern Warfare 2, you better head to your GameStop and purchase Modern Warfare 2 because you're not going to find that here. Last but not least, we're on to my least favorite of the 4 new maps. I really wanted to like this map. I really did. Archive looks super cool. It's a contemporary setting of an exclusive art gallery, is a direct contrast to the frenetic action. Tight close quarter encounters bloom out into open exterior battlegrounds in this wide 3-lane style map. Damn it, Infinity Ward, could you use any more big words? But Archive, it looks really cool. It's a really nice map to look at. There's all this abstract art and stuff in there, and it's a really good feeling map for flanking. If you're going to be like a suppressed player, there are 3 lanes again. It's a larger 3-lane map, just like Turista, where you have a lot of room to move around those 3 lanes. But the way that people are playing this map right now is absolutely aggravating. No one plays this map the way it's meant to be played. This is just like the Call of Duty Ghost maps that everyone complained about. Everyone said that the Call of Duty Ghost maps had all this extra space that was wasted, and it was all this huge maps that nobody ever played on the right spots of those maps, and everyone just ran to the middle. Same thing going on with Archive here. In Ghosts, I was really good about being a stealthy player and sneaking around the outside and stuff, and that's what you need to do in this map to get by, and you will get by because 99% of the players will just run right to the middle room. There is one room in the middle of this map that has 4 entry points, one from every single side of the room, and that's where everybody goes. Everybody just runs in there and jerks each other off. I'm running around the outside like the way you're supposed to, and these other 2 huge lanes of the map, no one goes to them. If you can find the little wall runs and stuff on this map and sneak around, you are so golden, it's unreal. But the map itself just plays really bad right now because I think people haven't got the hang of it yet. And maybe in the future people will start moving around the outside of the map, but for now, everyone's just running right down the middle. That is going to conclude the portion on the multiplayer maps for this video. I'm also going to be getting into some zombies really quickly here at the end of the video while this archive clip continues on in the background. So the zombies, Shaolin Shuffle, the 3rd zombies experience so far. We had Zombies in Spaceland, then we had Raven the Redwoods, which was my favorite, and now we're on to Shaolin Shuffle. Shaolin Shuffle is actually really cool. I thought it was going to be very gimmicky from the trailer, where everyone's doing like the kung fu moves and stuff. It's like New York City kung fu style. You learn, like, you get to pick up this medallion and then you become like a kung fu artist, and then you can like train in your kung fu thing, and you get shurikens and you can throw ninja stars and you can do all these special moves and stuff. And I thought it looked extremely gimmicky from the trailer. I was looking at the trailer like, that is the stupidest thing I think I've ever seen. And then I got it and I started playing it, and it was actually super fun. The zombies in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is one of the better elements to this game. I feel like they really hit a stride there in that Treyarch zombies are super serious. They found a niche spot for their zombies in Infinite Warfare where it's really fun and silly, and it just works. Guys, overall, the DLC this time around was pretty damn good. I like the zombies experience. The maps are pretty good. Excess is a little bit of a letdown because it's not the same as Rust was from Modern Warfare 2, and I was kind of expecting that, but I was expecting a little bit more similarity, but I do like how they did add in that smaller map. Archive is a bit of a letdown just because people don't know how to play it. Scrap is really great. If only the magnets were in better spots, or if only the domination points were on those magnets, that would have been really nice. And then Turista is just pure gold. I love that map 100%. It's a really fun map. There's so many little areas to explore, but the DLC overall is a great idea to purchase. I love the maps. I love the zombies. That is it for today's DLC review, guys. I can't really compare it to DLC 1 off the top of my head. DLC 1 had some pretty great experiences as well, but yeah, I would say go ahead and buy it. Not to mention the fact that you'll probably need to buy it if you plan on finding a game in Infinite Warfare anytime soon. But that is going to conclude today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to drop a like button. Drop a like, hit the like button, whatever you want to do. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I don't know why I can't talk at the end of this video. Follow me on Twitter. Consider supporting me on Patreon. And I'm going to leave before I just completely, my brain craps a bit. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.